Welcome to Naresh Technologies. I'm Bangar Raju, and this is the part 2 video of our constructors, a continuation for the constructors. In the part 1, I was demonstrating about what is a constructor and what is the need of a constructor. So what we discussed, a constructor is a special method that is present in a class responsible for initializing the variables of the class. And second thing, every class requires a constructor for creating the instance. If constructor is not available, we cannot create the instance, because whenever we are going to create an instance, we are explicitly going to call the constructor. This is a call to the constructor. So this is our class name, but this is not the class name, this is a constructor. So we are calling the constructor explicitly. So compulsory, every class requires a constructor to create the instance. If constructor is not there, instance cannot be created. So programmers are responsible to define constructors in their classes, and if a programmer is not defining a constructor in the class, on behalf of the programmer, the implicit constructor will be defined into the class by the compiler. And with the help of that implicit constructors, we can create the instances, and those implicit constructors are public constructors. And the other thing what I said is last video, we can define our own constructors. We can define our own constructors, and we define a constructor here, and we have explicitly calling the constructor here. So today we'll just, in this video, I will just demonstrate about some few more important things about constructors. What's it? Actually, types of constructors. We'll talk on the types of constructors. What are these types of constructors? The types of constructors, in the sense, the various types of constructors what a class can have. First one, a default or parameterless constructor. A default or parameterless constructor. The first category is default or parameterless constructor. Second, parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Third, copy constructor. And four, the fourth one is a static constructor. So these are the various types of constructors what a class is going to have: default or parameterless constructor, parameterized constructor, copy constructor, and a static constructor. So what is a default or parameterless constructor? If a constructor doesn't take any parameters, we call that as a default or parameterless constructor. If a constructor method doesn't take any parameters, then we call that as default or parameterless. Default or parameterless. Just notice, this is my class and this is my constructor, and this constructor is not taking any parameters here. And because the constructor is not taking any parameters, do remember this is a parameterless constructor. Or the other way to call this is, we can also call this default constructor. And remember, these constructors can be defined by a programmer explicitly, or else will be defined implicitly, provided there is no explicit constructor under the class. The very important point to remember is, these constructors can be defined by a programmer. We can define it. In the last video, I defined a constructor on my own, or else will be defined implicitly, provided there is no explicit constructor under the class. So they can be defined implicitly also, provided there is no constructor. So define a class without any constructor, so there will be an implicit constructor. Simply, you are defining a class like this: class test. If you define a class like this, there will be an implicit constructor, public test. But remember, this is an implicit constructor. This is a implicit constructor. And implicit constructors are always parameterless only. implicit constructors are always parameters. So I am defining a class, and constructor is implicitly defined by the compiler. I am not going to define it. I am not going to define this constructor. So this is what we call as an implicit constructor, and implicit constructors are always public. And very important thing is implicit constructors will always be default, parameterless only. So this is what a default or parameterless constructor. Then what is a parameterized constructor? If a constructor method is defined with any parameters, that is called as a parameterized constructor. If a constructor method is defined without any parameters, we call that as parameterized constructors. We call that as parameterized constructor, and these constructors can be defined by the programmers only, but never can be defined. If a constructor is parameterized, one thing is guaranteed. What is that? That is defined explicitly by a programmer, because implicit constructors cannot be parameterized. Implicit constructors are always parameterless. Okay, so that is what a parameterized constructor is. So let us try this today, a parameterized constructor. I am going to add a class. I'll call this class as parameterized constructor demo, parameterized con demo. In this class, let us go for defining a parameterized constructor, public parameterized con demo, just trying to pass a value in time. So this is what I am telling. A constructor with parameters is what we call as a parameterized constructor. So now inside of it I am writing console dot write line. Parameterized constructor is called, and trying to print the I value over there. I value over there. Static void main, create the instance of the class. Parameterized con demo is equals to new parameterized con demo. And now when we are going to create the instance of this particular class, it is our responsibility to explicitly pass a value for that. When you're going to create an instance, it will ask you for the value. It will ask you for the value int I, and I am going to pass a value 10. When I pass a value 10, the value 10 directly comes to I, and which is printed under the constructor, now, console dot write line. And now this value will be printed by the write line statement. Okay, let's run this. Yeah, just printing the value for us. Now going to create one more instance for the class cd2 and passing the value 20. Now the value 20 goes and the class is going to execute 20. So like this we can pass parameters over there. Okay, so now just see what I can do now is, suppose in my class I got a variable with the name as int x, and remember this x is initialized with the default value always. Why default value? Because we did not assign a value, and when we don't assign a value, a constructor will now take the responsibility in assigning a value, and the value for the x is going to be 0. Okay, let's write a method public void display, and in the display I am going to print your value now. Console dot write line, value of x is plus x. So it's going to print the value of x now. So when you call this method, the x value will be printed. Watch. cd1 dot display, x value is 0, and cd2 dot display, x value 0. It's going to print the x value 0. But remember a point here, we are calling it by using cd1 and cd2. Can't I use this 10 and 20 in the place of x? Yes, it is possible. How is it possible? See, inside of your constructor, you can just do one thing. What you know? X is equals to I. You can assign like this. Once you assign, what happens is the value 10, what I am passing here will first come to I, and with that value the x is initialized. And in the same way, second instance when you create, this value comes here and the x is initialized. So internally there will be two copies of the memory for us, because two instances created, cd1 separately, cd2 separately. Now when we created two instances now, cd1 and cd2, internally it is going to allocate the memory separately for both the instances. So just hope so, just understand, this is the memory that is allocated for cd1, and the same way it's going to allocate the memory for cd2. So now internally there will be a copy of x here and there will be a copy of x here. So 2 times the memory is allocated for you. There is a copy of x in the first one and there is a copy of x in the second one. So here we have an x and again we have an x here. So the 10 and the 20 what I am passing now, first time here the value 10 comes, 10, and second instance and here the value 20 comes. So the value of x is going to be separately present for cd1 and cd2. So when I call display method, if you notice, the display method is going to print the value, because you are calling cd1 dot display, it will print the value associated with cd. What are the value associated with cd1? 10, and in the same way the value associated with cd2 is 20. So if you notice, the display method will not print zeros now, it prints 10 and 20. Like this, we can just use parameterized constructors and initialize the variables that are present for us inside the class. Okay. Well, now two instances created. Two instances are going to have two separate values. So this is what we call as a parameterized constructor. A constructor with parameters, and this can be defined explicitly but cannot be defined implicitly. Third one, copy constructor. What is a copy constructor? In the previous example, we created two instances, and both the two instances are initializing, the variable x with the two different values. What the copy constructor is, if we want to create multiple instances with the same values, then we use these copy constructors. Okay. In a copy constructor, the constructor takes the same class as a parameter to it. Let me demonstrate. Adding one more class. Let me call it as copy con demo. Now in this class also I am going to do one thing first. What's it? Just like the previous example, I'll declare a variable int x, and after declaring this int x, I'll define one constructor public copy con demo, simply I am passing int I, and inside of this let us write x is equals to I. X is equals to I means this I is used for initializing the x. Okay, and fine, public void display copy con demo cd1 is equals to new copy con demo, passing the value 10, and then I wanted to cd1 dot display. Oh, sorry, we did not write the main method here. In the display, there is a code I should write in the main method. Sorry, in the display, I wanted to print console dot write line value of x is plus x. Then write a main method, static void main print. So it's the same code we had in the previous example. It's the same code I created in the previous example. Now, if I am going to create one more instance for this, cd2 passing 20. So now if I call cd2.display, the value will be 20. Already we just checked the same thing in the previous example. And now I want the second instance also to be created with the same value 10. So I can pass 10 here. But tomorrow, if at all one parameter only we are passing, tomorrow if you have 10, 20 parameters, passing all the 10, 20 values every time is a time consuming process. To overcome this particular problem, what we do is we define copy constructors in the class like this. How? Public copy con demo, and this takes a parameter. What are the parameter it takes? Copy con demo obj. Copy con demo obj. Sorry, type mistake. Copy con demo obj means we are passing the same class as a parameter. How can we pass a class as a parameter? Because a class is a user defined type. It's a new data type. Here we defined a class. What is the class name? Copy con demo. But don't forget, this copy con demo is a new data type now. So this can be passed as a parameter for this constructor. And internally, what you're going to write now? X is equals to obj.x. What does that x means? The local copy x. Obj.x means we are referring to this x. We are referring to this particular x. And now we have two constructors in the class. First one and second one. Okay. Now come below, and after coming below, I am just going to do here. What? You have two constructors in the class. Can I define multiple constructors in the class? 100%. Why? Constructors can be overloaded. We are overloading the constructors. So now you see I have two different constructors. One which takes copy con demo as a parameter, and the second one takes int as a parameter. So we created one instance already passing int. Now this instance I am going to create by passing cd1. I am going to create by passing cd1. Now remember, cd1, the whole instance is passed to this, and now obj refers to cd1, and obj.x means we are referring to 10 which is assigned for this x now. So now under cd2 also the x value will be 10 only. Watch, both will print the same value for us now. So what happened now? What is going to happen is, if you just understand, cd2 doesn't have a different value now. If you just check cd2 also just contains the same value, because we used a copy constructor in this particular place, and that copy constructor has initialized this with the same value. So here also the value of x is going to be 10. So both are going to contain the same value, cd1, cd2. Memory is separate for each, but value will be same. For a single value, generally we don't use it. A single value we can directly pass. Suppose tomorrow there are 10, 20 values in the class and we are passing all 10, 20 values for the first time. Second time also I want the same values. In that scenarios, without passing with same, it is better use a copy constructor and directly pass it, and now it will happen for you. So this is a parameterized constructor. And remember, this is also parameterized constructor also only, but this is called as a copy constructor. This is called as a copy constructor. Copies the values of that instance to another instance of the same. Okay, so that the values will be same in both the two places. This is a copy constructor. Next thing. What is the next thing? Static constructor. What is a static constructor? If a constructor is explicitly declared by using static modifier, we call that as static constructor. We call that as static constructor. Okay, and remember, all the constructors we have defined till now are non-static or instance constructors. See, I have a class here, class test. In this class, I am going to define a constructor like this, static test. I am going to define a class, and this is what we call as a static constructor. But don't forget, even though you define a constructor like this, after compilation, this class is also going to contain an implicit constructor like this. And remember, so this is a static constructor defined explicitly. And I did not define this, I am just telling you I did not define this. Now I defined a constructor compiling this class. When I compile this class will be having a implicit default constructor. So this is every time guaranteed. So after telling this, you'll have a doubt. What is the doubt? Static constructors are not going to be defined implicitly. Yes, they'll be defined, but only if your class contains any static variables. If the class contains any static variables, then only implicit static constructors will come into picture. Otherwise we must define that explicitly. And some key points about the static constructors. First point, if a class contains any static variables, then only implicit static constructors will be present, or else we need to define them explicitly. Whereas non-static constructors will be implicitly defined in every class except static class, provided we did not define them explicitly. If a class contains any static variable, then only implicit static constructors will be present, or else we need to define them explicitly. Whereas non-static constructors will be implicitly defined in every class except static class, provided we did not define them explicitly. This is the first important point to remember about a static constructor, non-static constructor. Point number 2. Static constructors are responsible in initializing static variables, and these constructors and these constructors are never called explicitly, they are implicitly called. And moreover, these constructors are first to execute under any class. What is the meaning? I am adding another class here. We will call this class as static con demo. Static con demo. Now in this class I am defining a static constructor, static con demo, and this constructor is a static constructor, console dot write line, static constructor is executed. Let us add a main method into the class, static void main. Don't write any code at all, but just simply let us set the startup object and run the code using Control F5 and watch static constructor is executed. So actually I did not call the constructor anywhere, we did not call, but earlier the constructors what we discussed, like non-static constructors, we called them explicitly, and I already explained in the first video, non-static constructors must be explicitly called, no chance for implicit call, but here static constructors are never explicitly called, they are implicitly called. And because they are implicitly called for us, you can notice it when I run the code, straight away the constructor is executed. And one more important point, they are first to execute in a class. Suppose you have written a print statement console.writeLine, main method is called, main method is executed. But even though you write a main method is executed, but just notice first what is executed, static, afterwards main method. Means is the execution going to start with a static constructor? No, execution always starts with main method only, but entry point is this only, you cannot change. But before executing the code inside the main, the control first jumps to a static constructor, executes it, and after executing it, it comes back to the main method to complete the execution. So this is always the first block of code to execute. Static constructors cannot be parameterized. So overloading static constructors is not possible. So what is it? Static constructors cannot be parameterized. Yes, we cannot parameterize. Why we cannot parameterize? Simple logic there. What's it? They are implicitly called. When they are implicitly called, we never get a chance to pass a value. And second important point, what is it? This is the first block to execute. If this is the first block to execute, there is no chance for us to pass a value. See, for second block, we have a chance to send a value from the first block, but that is a first block. From where can we send a value? No chance. So that is why they cannot be parameterized. Okay. And when parameterization is not available, what is not possible? Overloading of the constructor is also not possible. So this is what a static constructor is. So like this, we can define constructors as static. So this will be the first block of code to execute under a class. So these are the various types of constructors what we have in a class. One, default or parameterless, means a constructor without any parameters is a default or parameterless. Programmers can define them explicitly or else will be defined implicitly provided there is no constructor in the class. Second, a constructor with parameters is what we call as a parameterized constructor, and this can be defined only by programmers, cannot be defined implicitly. Copy constructor, this is also a parameterized constructor, but generally we use for initializing another instance of the class with the same values matching with the existing instance. Finally, static constructor. These constructors are explicitly defined. and there is a chance for implicit also, provided your class contains any static variables. No static variables, no implicit static constructor. But you can define that explicitly by using the static modifier. So these constructors cannot be parameterized, these constructors cannot be overloaded, and these constructors are implicitly called, and these are first to execute under your class. So these are the 4 types of constructors what a class can contain. Thank you for watching the video. For more videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Naresh IT.